Team diggers have adopted some unusual ways of preparing for the race. The old Jeep CJ7 often suffers from the extreme off-road challenges it faces, and the boys are keen to find out whether body and window protection would prevail in such extreme conditions. They begin to apply shield protection to one half of the race car. Then it's time for the team members to prepare themselves for the hectic mud race that waits for them in the darkness. 2 hours of night racing lie ahead of us, with varying levels of difficulty. We have to drive carefully enough not to stress our material too much. There will be a second race day tomorrow, and we don't want to destroy our race car tonight. But still, we want to finish the night in the top quarter of the field. Starting off the race. Off-road Camp Karens proves that off-road racing is a tough game, which requires men to switch into race mode before they get behind the wheel. The two openings converge into muddy tracks, which are only wide enough for one car. It is difficult to work out the right speed to drive at in the dark, especially when approaching the water holes. Team Diggers performs pretty daring and collects points for sections passed. And since extreme off-roading is a wet matter, these points are collected in a small plastic bag. That turns out to be a special challenge. Hold on! I need to find the bag. I had it just a second ago. Luckily, their persecutors are also in trouble, so the diggers are able to proceed without losing their spot in the race. Off-roaders are fair sportsmen, even if helping out means getting caught in trouble yourself. A scheme typical for off-road racing. Every car passing makes the track a bit heavier, muddier and more challenging. It does not take long before the first victims of the night's race are unveiled. We found an old bearing and made it fit. Gotta find out how long that will last. Team Diggers is also forced to an unexpected halt. We overtook 8 cars right at the beginning of the race. They just stood there while we zoomed by. The drivers just stared at us. That's what passing someone off-road looks like? Our generator belt gave out. I guess it just got hot when we were stuck in a water hole and blew up. Off-roading is the toughest test for a car. Repair work is always required. Taking a break offers a surprising sight. The paint sealing has a remarkable effect. This is a very tough challenge, and we can clearly see the effect of the sealing. Really convincing how it repels the extreme dirt. Finally, Team Diggers can enter the track again and finish the night race successfully. The next morning. Some of the race cars have not survived the heavy bashing through the bushes. But nobody would even consider giving up, no matter how long the list of defects. Our power steering and the winch and the ventilation are broken. The complete front grille is gone after we tried to push somebody. Giving up is for girls, and driving without power steering means extra points. Or it should at least. The camp is turned into a field hospital for 4x4s. We lost the motor mount and tried to fix that somehow. On the second day, the racers have to master 16 sections that can be passed in free order, but each one as fast as possible. The field consists of 2 race classes, prototypes and off-roaders like the old Jeep of Team Diggers. For Oliver, the technical limits of his old schooler add to the challenge of the sport. I could also perform off-roading with a tank. A tank is the ultimate off-road vehicle. But the fun thing about old schooling is to get the best possible performance out of your car and beat the toughest terrain you can master with, for instance, my classic Jeep. Beat or be beaten. That is the essence of off-roading in a nutshell. Ain't no mountain too steep, no hole too deep, and no situation too desperate. A unique blend of 4-wheel acrobatics and mud wrestling. Team Team Diggers reaches the third section. The steep edge of the waterhole forces them to use the winch for the first time in this race. But the essential little helper shows no sign of life, unexpectedly. It does not take long to figure out that there is an electrical problem that cannot be fixed standing knee-deep in cold water. Time for plan B. After a wet maneuver, the Jeep is in the right position. Unfortunately, our front winch has quit the job. We stressed her too much, I guess. But we still have to finish the section and we have another winch at the rear of the car, so we will try to get out of here with that one. The rear winch operates as it is supposed to, and Michael can hook up the cable for the operation. But the weight of the Jeep is too much for the rather small winch. Finally, the boys have to give up the section and return to their field garage. The diagnose means the end of all their race dreams. Both relays are molten and that has killed the engine of the winch. All obstacles left are hardcore. We need a winch to conquer them. Period. Additionally, we have torn our steering box to pieces. That sums it up. Our race is over. This trophy continues without Team Diggers. But the next 4x4 mud wrestling, or rather mud racing, will definitely see them again.